Hello, movie fans. Welcome to the Movie Family's year in review / decade in review, where we tell you our top picks for our favorite movies of 2019 and also our top picks for the best movies of the decade. So we're gonna we each listed our favorites, and then we kind of got together to compile them and see which ones top their list that we all agreed on. And then we each have some other ones we feel are some honorable mentions. So we're going to have our top ones going down the line, and then we're each going to come back around and give our honorable mentions after that. Ryan, top movies of 2019. Yeah.
I said Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I think Spider-Man: Far From Home was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Avengers: Endgame.
And Shazam.
John Wick Chapter 3.
So those were the movies we all agreed were tops for the year. And then we each have another honorable mention. You can say it, and you can tell a little bit about it if you want to.
I said Godzilla: King of the Monsters. It was the second one. People didn't exactly like the first one because there wasn't a lot of monsters. There was in this one, and I thought it was entertaining. Though the plot was a little it was entertaining overall.
I said Aladdin because it was good, and I guess it was well done, and it had a new song and everything.
Okay.
I struggled to find mine. I really only had a few movies that I really felt were great. And then there were a lot of others that were in consideration. And the one I ended up picking is a bit unusual for me, but I'm going with Glass because it kind of wrapped up a trilogy, and it was different, and I thought it was well done.
For my honorable mention, I'm going with Joker. It almost cracked my top, and I was going to push for it, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the Joker, but I think, again, not everybody was able to even see it because it was more adult content. So not all the kids saw it. So I said, that should be an honorable mention. Only some of us actually saw it.
Yeah, my honorable mention is actually one that none of you guys have seen. It was Marriage Story. So I saw this movie, and I heard that it was really good, and then I watched it, and it was really good. It's got great music and a great story, and it's all driven home by fantastic acting from Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. So it was a really good movie.
And we actually have, for most of those movies that are top in 2019, we have reviews on the channel, so we will put a card up above for the movies that 2019 that we did do reviews on. If you're interested in going to see the review before seeing the movie, if you're going to check it out on DVD or streaming.
All right, so those were our picks for top movies of 2019. And then we had a bit more daunting challenge to list our best movies of the decade. Obviously, there's so many movies that came out between 2010 and the end of 2019. There were some great movies. There were some not so great movies. Again, we all made our list. We came up with what we think are our top 15 movies that we all more or less agreed on. We're going to go down the line and give couple of those movies and say something about them if you want, and then after that we'll come back and again give our honorable mentions. All right, Ryan?
I had Kingsman: The Secret Service. It was good spy movie, modern day.
Spider-Man: Far From Home again.
Harry Potter: Deathly Hallows Part 2. Wrapping up all of it. I think only Deathly Hallows 1 and 2 came out in this decade, but Deathly 2 wrapped up everything really nicely. Definitely top.
I had Marvel's The Avengers, the first Avengers group of when they came all together, and back in, I think it was 2012, and they did the first team up for everybody, which was awesome in the way they did it. So I needed to make sure that was noted.
I had Inception. So, Christopher Nolan, made another great movie with fantastic effects and great acting, and just a really fun to watch movie.
Back around to Ryan?
I had Avengers: Infinity War. It was a good movie, good pacing. It was, entertaining.
I had The Greatest Showman. It was a very good movie musical that is now my favorite movie, and it will continue to be that until something better comes out.
Hunger Games. All four of them came out during this decade, but we kind of agreed that our favorite one of the quadrilogy, I guess, was the original Hunger Games movie.
And for the next one I have is Deadpool. So I thought Deadpool is was a great comic book film, but really just kind of changed the genre a little bit with R rating, and Ryan Reynolds was perfect in that role. I didn't necessarily like the sequel as much, but the first one really kind of, I think, blew everybody's socks off, and it was surprising how good it was and how true to the character it was.
I had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This came out last year, and it's a movie that really no one expected anything at all from, and it turned out to be fantastic. And it's a really great movie, and it's one of the best Spider-Man movies and one of the best Sony movies too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And my final was Avengers Endgame. Obviously, is wrapping up a lot of stuff. It was, slow first third, but then it got better in the end. Obviously, the culmination at the end was a good way to end the series thus far, and now they're going to do more stuff with it.
I had Frozen, the beloved children's movie that they made a sequel to.
Nice. I picked Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, just great along the superhero movie lines. Most of our stuff is Marvel based, but I really loved that strong female lead, and it was a really good movie.
And then I have Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So it was the first of the kind of the anthology spin-off movies that Disney started to do with Star Wars. It is one of the better ones, I think, that they've done in this decade. I've enjoyed some of the sequels, for sure, but and I enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. But the Rogue One, I think, was maybe even better than any of the current sequels. It was just really good, even for one that didn't involve much of Jedi's until the end.
And I had A Quiet Place. So this was John Krasinski's sort of introduction to directing, as far as I'm aware, and he did a really, really great job with it. It's got a great story, and all the acting is really good, and all the music and the sound design is great, and it's just a really fun, really scary movie to see. And the trailer for the second one just came out too, and it looks really good too. So, yeah.
And now we'll give our honorable mentions. So those were the 15 that we more or less agreed on, and our individual extras.
So for my honorable mention, I had Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It was a really good movie. Great for the original Captain America was entertaining, but it wasn't the greatest. But like whenever this is on TV, I'll always watch it because it's entertaining and it's never really super slow.
Yeah.
My honorable mention is Bird Box because it was really good. It was a nice thriller/horror movie, and I think we all enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
My honorable mention is Pitch Perfect. For the comedy musical. I just love it, and it's fun. I sing along with it every time it's on.
My honorable mention is Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. So that was the surprise, hit back in 2017, I think it was, and it was just I had gone into it kind of thinking, it could be maybe a little bit amusing and kind of interesting what they'll do with it. And I was just surprised how much I really loved that movie. It was really good. I'd watch it again and again. This is one of those ones, if I see it on TV, I'll watch at least part of it. So I figured it needed to be mentioned. It may not be one of the best of the decade, but it's one that I really enjoyed.
And my honorable mention is Interstellar. So this came out back in 2014, and this is genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time. Christopher Nolan did a great job again. So like always, great acting, pretty good story, and it really does have probably the best visual effects I've ever seen in a movie. It's really, it was a great movie, and also great music.
It's very good.
So there you have it. That's the Movie Family's picks for the top movies of 2019 and the top movies of the decade. Let us know what you think in the comments, if you agree with any of our picks, if you think we left off some things that really should have been on the list. Let us know your thoughts and your comments. And now...
Remember to like and subscribe. And now it's time for Ryan's bad joke of the day.
In light of the success of my amazing standalone dad joke video, here we have the next one. Recently I was told that I'm colorblind. Came right out of the orange.
What?
See,
Like
that's...
came right out of the blue.
Yeah, it's great.
And colorblind.
If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It'll be 5 minutes of you wondering why you clicked on that video.
We'll link it up above. That's
It's
just 5
entertaining.
minutes of bad dad jokes. that
Annoy
enter
all your friends.
2020.
It's great.
So that's all. We look forward to moving to reviewing some more movies in 2020. And we'll see you later. Bye from the movie family.